Alright, this is a VOD tracer plat Vincenity? Vincity? I'm not sure what the username is. But plat tracer, DPS main, usually playing seems to be like McCree Genji and then tracer on the side. So we'll see. Personally, I think this route's really weird because you're not trying to be sneaky at all. Like you just blinked right in front of them. They were never gonna hit you, and they didn't realize you were there. You're also blinking a little bit too much. You weren't being shot at. You should only be blinking when you think people, when you start seeing people actually acknowledge you're there, but no one's acknowledging you're there. You dodged there, but there was nothing to dodge. Just work on building your ult during this time. You really needed to get that. No one was looking at you, and no one was looking at you or shooting at you, so you had all the time in the world. You just kind of just panicked. Okay, kill there. Go mess him up. You actually needed the pulse bomb for now when the graviton went off, but it's okay. You should just be able to kill Winston. You can damage him from farther away. You need to land your more headshots there. For the tanks, you should just be able to land all your headshots. Like, they have the biggest hitbox. You should have blinked forward. That small health pack would have healed you up, and you would have been in a better position to help your team for this fight. Instead, you took the longest route you could have. And things could have been dead already. Because that soldier was late. That was just unfortunate. You should kind of just expect there to be traps in doorways, since there's a Junkrat. But, oh well. Just unfortunate. There's not too much counterplay to do that. It's either you see it, or you don't. And you just happen to not see it that time. This soldier really wants to kill you. Just harass him. Just harass him. They can't do anything to you, and you have health packs everywhere. Good job. You should actually just save your you should save your pulse bomb to when you know you're going to be able to kill the guy by yourself. That Winston just ulted, so there was no chance that was ever going to kill him. You should have your pulse bomb right now to throw onto all the Hanzo and the Tracer and everyone there. But you used it too early. On something that was going to die anyway because he was alone. It was a 1v6 situation for that Winston. You should have just been able to... Your team could have bursted him down. No problem. Should have just walked to that health pack. There's no reason not to. You're a bit too passive here. Like, you have a strange, like, rhythm where you're either too passive or you're a bit too aggressive with your, especially with your pulse bomb. But you should have just meleeed there. But you're like, you're too passive. You're like, your team's already in a team fight, so that's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, now you're suddenly aiming really well, so I guess you're in the zone. Reaper shouldn't have... Yeah, he didn't have Wraith form. That was never going to hit anyone. We wasted a lot of pulse bombs. Besides, your Zarya, you should have tabbed already. You need to tab so that way you know what ults are up. There you go. There's the tab. So you have both defensive ults, but you don't have anything offensive. Go wreck him. You're being a bit too passive here. You should just go die. Or you should just go in. Dive in. There's no reason to not be diving in. You can't die. Almost killed yourself. Which I always find hilarious. Okay. No, just go kill this. McCree. Wow. Yeah, you tried there. Should have hid when you heard the high noon go off, but it's okay. Guys lost the point, but I think you're about to get it back real quick. Yeah. There we go. See? Just take your time. There's no point. There's no rush. You're playing like you're in a rush to do something because you're playing like a fast character. Oh, you need to be doing everything fast because you're a tracer. No, not really. You just need to just land your shots. But then you're sometimes too passive to where you're not doing anything. Like either if you're at full health, you're just diving in head first. Like no, like you're not worried about anything. But once you do dive in, you're the most passive tracer that you could play. Like you keep hesitating on going in, and then if you're not at full health, you're not gonna go in. I think it comes down to just knowing what the limits of tracer are and knowing where the enemy is. And I don't think you know where the enemy is sometimes. You're just reacting to where you think the enemy is. Like, I don't think when you see the enemy on the screen, I think that's when you react on who to target. But I don't think you know where the enemy, like your targets are when they're not on your screen. Like, you took a bit of a long route there. Could have been a bit shorter if you cut through the stairs on the left. Good kill. You need to take your time with those pulse bombs since you're missing. If you were hitting those, then all the power to you. Even if like the target wasn't gonna die, if you just stick them, they would be in a much worse spot than flat out just missing. You need to hit the pulse bombs. Just keep throwing bullets down there. Yep. Just the fact that you're alive sitting back here is already enough. Okay, there we go. Probably should have pulse bomb into the graviton. Yeah, you could have saved it. It's fine. Now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't really matter too much. Do use this time to just go kill a target. Why didn't you hit anything there? Like, no one knew you were there. This enemy team does not know that you're there. You should not have missed that. You really needed to take out the supports, at least one of the supports. Please don't pulse bomb here. Okay. Come on, man. No, see? You needed your pulse bomb now. When people were in the graviton. You need to press your tab more so that way you know. You just need to know when... Because as Tracer, you need to combo with the graviton. If you have a Zarya. And you should be able to get like 2 or 3 pulse bombs for every graviton. So you need to set yourself up to do that. I mean, that was a very fast pulse bomb because you're just shooting tanks now. Now that you're actually going in and being annoying like a Tracer. Wait, now if you just hug the Zenyatta, who's playing very poorly and not abusing the fact he's invincible, you can't die. I missed another missed pulse bomb. Oh, okay, you got Lucio. Because he jumped back into it. The only reason you guys got that one. You need to kill... Okay, yeah. Just need to be more aggressive at times. Because did you see how you were playing there? That's what you should have been doing this entire game. Where you were just... No one was looking at you, for the most part. Like, there was almost never any point where the team was focusing you. You should have just stayed in their fate, just running between them the entire game. That last point just showed you that you should have done that. That's what you should have been doing. Instead of this you were playing a very passive Tracer for most of the game, where you were just hanging back out when your team was already in combat. Like on this screen, your team's in combat, but you're just hanging out, and not going in. You should only be delaying your attack by like a second once the main ball of your team goes in. Like, there's no reason for you to not just go in and go kill stuff. You also blink a bit too much, so you're wasting blinks for when you don't need to blink, because again, no one's looking at you, so there's no reason to play so defensively. And that's about that. Like, your aim could use some work, but everyone could be recommended that. Yeah, it's pretty much that. You just need to work on your positioning. Was okay. It was good. Like, it was good enough, but you just didn't go in ever. All right, that's that.